We have a caller who specifically called today because you're on the show. Clifford in Virginia, thanks so much for waiting. You're on with Dr. Darrel Ray.
Hey, Clifford.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Darrel. How are you guys doing today?
Very good.
I guess. Well, so yeah, I'm calling in reference to my grandmother. Essentially, she's had in the past a big influence on my life when it comes to religion. I grew up as a Pentecost Christian. Essentially, I had these three occurrences in my life where I, tried to put my all into religion, and it resulted in me being admitted to a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, the second time I was actually in the military. I was stationed at Fort Meade up near NSA. This was around the time with Edward Snowden. So I kind of thought the government was looking on me, and I pretty much thought I was the Antichrist on all three occasions.
Mm-hmm.
I then joined college, and during my time in college, I sort of gained more information and started really questioning my beliefs. And since then, my life has kind of had an upturn, and I was actually able to, graduate and succeed. So the issue, though, is I'm kind of dealing with my grandmother where, she sort of brings up, Armageddon and God's going to crack the sky and hell and these really irrational beliefs. And, my son actually, he has care with her. So I'm trying to figure out how to kind of handle that situation. Really what to say, because although I feel like I'm over it, I feel that, so sorry, I'm a little nervous. I feel that some of those fears begin to creep up, as a child. This kind of brings me to my knees sometimes. And it's almost like I'm not even afraid of myself, but these irrational fears come from my son, hell and, Armageddon, so I'm kind of asking how do I handle this?
Well, first of all, let's just get this out front right off the bat. Congratulations. You've achieved a hell of a lot to move out of that. You've gone back and gotten a very important component in your life, and that's an education. You've learned some critical thinking, skepticism, and you've applied that to yourself. All those are things you've done for yourself, and you should pat yourself on the back. It's a huge thing to get out of religion, especially Pentecostals. That's pretty difficult. So,
oh my God, yeah.
So if we don't do anything else today, I just want you to make sure you have achieved a massive amount, and I am in great admiration of the amount of effort it took to get that.
Thanks.
Now let's look at
it almost gets a little frustrating. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. So sorry.
You got two other things. One is grandma over here, and one is your son. And you're negotiating those two pieces. We don't have time here to talk about all those things, but I will say that there's resources out there. There's parenting resources. There's all sorts of resources. We've got at Recover from Religion. You can call in and we'll help you find them. But the main thing is you want to make sure that your son is not indoctrinated in the same way that you were. And that's going to be difficult with your mother having care of your child. So you're going to have to think about strategies for that. The third thing you mentioned, and I'm going to put those aside because we don't have time to do all that, but the third thing is the most important, and that is you keep being triggered by things that she brings up and probably other things in your environment. So that tells me, and you mentioned some stuff when you were back in the service and hospitalization and all. It tells me you probably got some trauma. And I'm only making I'm only making a guess here, Cliff. So I'm not going to diagnose you. I'm just saying it looks like that's from my perspective. So have you had some, besides being a hospitalization, have you had a good therapist? Have you talked to someone?
Yeah. So, because I'm in the military, I see the VA. So that's sort of, I was MedSep. So I do, but what I have only issue with that is a lot of times, I can't read minds, I don't have that capability, but it seems that they are religious, and I feel that at times that they don't really understand, as far as, Even like my parents, like, because actually my grandmother is kind of the issue. My mom and my dad I kind of told already, but I sometimes say, hey, I do kind of want to tell her, and it's like almost like this protective thing for her, where it's like, well, she believed this for so long, and it's insensitive, and versus of the kind of things that I feel about the situation.
Yeah. I want to encourage you to, I wrote an article on that very subject, but I don't have time. Let me find a way to put the article up. Can I do that, Matt? Put the article up in a chat or somewhere? If I can find it.
I think you may be able to get it to where they can link it to the mods. Well, maybe I'll get it up later in the show.
Okay.
Just by putting it in one of your chat.
Okay. I don't want to, we could do family therapy. We could do psychotherapy and all that. I don't want to do that here. I just want to point you in the right direction. And I will just say, you focus on you, focus on your trauma, focus on raising your kid in a way that gives the kid options when he gets to be an adult. If your child wants to become a Pentecostal when he grows up, that's his choice, but don't let anybody force that on him, and don't let him force fear of hell on him. Those are the kinds of things you may need to sit down with your grandmother and say, look, fear of hell is not going to be imposed on my child. So if that's, you may have to have a tough talk with her about that. And do call in or chat in at Recover from Religion, ask them for the fear of hell resources, and ask specific. I'll just do it this way, Matt. Cliff, call in or chat in and ask for Dr. Ray's article on whose pain is it. You can find it on the RFR blog, or they can give it to you. And that will help you kind of put in perspective what you've got to do to take care of yourself and your child, perhaps. Is that okay?
Okay. I'll do that. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Very welcome, Cliff. Thanks for calling in.
I've actually got that article.
Okay, good.
And I'll paste a link to it in chat so that somebody behind the scenes can figure out what to do with it while we're doing this.
Well, I'll just say one more thing related to that, Matt, because it's probably true of a lot of the listeners, and that is that we are so sensitive about the religious. I don't want to hurt my parents. I don't want to hurt my grandparents. And what I basically say in the article is, look, whose pain is it? When you have badly formed ideas, when you have badly formed views of reality, you're going to experience pain because you're hitting up against reality. And so your grandmother or your parents or whoever, they're experiencing pain because they don't see the reality that you have a perfect right to live your own life without their indoctrination. So anyway, that was the quick version of it.